All right, let us start with the new question. That is Mehran question from uh, Captain Jankit. And here it is. We have the requirement discuss the way in which Mehran should fair value the above assets with reference to the principle of IFRS 13 fair value measure. Right? Uh, okay, that's our first requirement. And Mehran is a public limited company. It operates in a number of business sectors, including farming, mining, and retail. Directors requires advice about how to apply IFRS 13 fair value measurement. Okay. So Mehran has just acquired a company which comprises of farming and mining business. Mehran wishes to advise how to fair value some of the assets required. Okay, acquired. One such asset is a piece of land which is currently used for farming. The fair value of the land, if used for farming, is 5 million. If the land is used for farming purpose, tax credit of 0.1 million arises. Okay. Mehran has determined that the market participants would consider that the land could have an alternate use of residential purposes. The fair value of the land for the residential purpose is before associated costs thought to be 7.4 million. Uh, in order to transfer the land from farming to residential, there would be legal cost of 200,000, a viability analysis cost of 300,000, and cost of demolition of the farm building of 100,000. Additionally, permission for residential use has not been formally given by the legal authority, and because of this, market participants have indicated the fair value of the land after the above cost would be discounted by 20%. Okay, because of the risk of not obtaining planning permission. So, additionally, in addition, Mehran has acquired a brand name associated with the produce from the farm. Mehran has decided to discontinue the brand on the assumption that it is similar to existing brand. Okay. Mehran has determined that if it ceases to use the brand, then the indirect benefits will be 20 million. If it continues to use the brand, then the direct benefit will be 17 million. Other companies in this market do not have brands that are as strong as Mehran, and so would not see any significant benefit from the discontinuation, and it will provide us 9 marks. Okay, let us move to the sheet straight away, answering sheet, and what we will say: IFRS 13 fair value measurement requires the fair value of a non-financial asset to be measured based on its highest and best use. Okay, this is determined from the perspective of market participants. It doesn't matter whether the entity intends to use the asset differently. The highest and best you take into account the use of the asset, which is physically possible, legally permissible, and financially feasible. IS 13, sorry, IFRS 13 allows management to presume that the current use of an asset is the highest and best use unless factors such as otherwise. Now, let us start with the perspective of land first. So, if the land zoned for agriculture use is currently used for farming, the fair value should reflect the cost structure to continue operating the land for farming, including any tax credit which could be realized by market participants. Thus, the fair value of the land, if used for farming, would be dollar 5.1 billion. That is 5 million of the cost and 1 million is the legal cost. Okay. Uh, the agricultural land seems to have an alternative use as market participants have considered its use for residential purpose. Instead, a use of an asset need not be legal at measurement stage, but it must not be legally prohibited in the jurisdiction. Now, if used for residential purpose, the value should include all costs associated with changing the land to market participants intended use in addition. Demolition and other costs associated with preparing the land for a different. You should be included in the valuation. These costs would include the uncertainty related to whether the approval needed for changing the usage would be obtained because market participants would take that into account when pricing value of the land if it had a different use. Thus, the fair value of the land if used for residential purposes would be okay 7.4 million was the cost minus zero point 0.2 million, the other associated cost minus 3 million, 0.3 million, the other cost, right, which we indicated over here, uh, legal cost of 200 million minus 0.3 million means 300,000, the other is related, and demolition cost of 100 over here minus 0.1 million. So far so good. Move ahead. 0.1 million, right? And which will be discounted by 20%. So what we will do, we will take 80%, multiply by 80% because 20% will be demolished. So 80%. So in this scenario, the presumption that the current use is the highest and best use of the land has been overridden by the market factors which indicate that residential development is the highest and best use. Therefore, the fair value of the land would be 5.4 million. So far, so good. See, that's no rocket science to solve the answer. What I did initially, I just gave the relevant concept of IFRS study. Then I connected it with the scenario. Firstly, I discussed regarding the agriculture use by applying the standard to the scenario, connected it to the scenario. Then I gave my finally I discussed it with those both the scenarios with respect of the agriculture land and then the residential purpose, and finally I gave my conclusion, and that's how you do it, right? But if the requirement is not over yet, we need to discuss according to for the brand as well. Moving back to the scenario again, and let us look at uh, the brand scenario. In addition, Mehran has acquired the brand name associated with the produce from the farm. Mehran has decided to discontinue the brand on the assumption that it is similar to its existing brand. Mehran has determined that if it ceases to use the brand, then the indirect benefit will be 20 million. If it continues to use the brand, then the direct benefit will be 17 million. Other companies in this market do not have brands that are as strong as Mehran, and so would not see any significant benefit from the discontinuation. Okay, so again, moving back, what we'll say in the absence of any evidence to the contrary, Mehran should value the brand on the basis of the higher and best used by market participants. Even if Mehran uh, intends a different use. Market participants would not discontinue the brand because their existing brands are less strong. Instead, market participants would continue to use the brand in order to obtain the direct benefit. So, Mehran's decision to discontinue the brand is therefore not relevant in determining fair value. As such, the fair value of the brand is $17 million. See, three small paragraphs I use. Firstly, I discuss as the evidence is if the in the absence of any evidence to the contrary, what they need to do, they need to value the brand on the basis of the highest and best used by the market participants. So even though though they are intending to use it differently, then I connected with the scenario further that if market participants would not discontinue the brand, their existing brands are less strong. So market participants would continue to use the brand in order to get the direct benefits. Finally, I connected with the scenario and I gave my conclusion that Mehran's decision to discontinue the brand is not relevant, therefore not relevant for determining the fair value. And so the brand value is 17 million. That's how you need to do it simply. I did the both part one and two, three. There is no profit sign, only three steps. What I'm following, discussing the standard, then connected it with the scenario and giving the conclusion. That's how you need to do it. I hope you're getting that technique. Now, I'll see you in the next video.